What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Sip the Salad Films. I'm your host, Coach Evans. And today we have the big three. Not gonna say it's big me. We got the big three. So Chris is involved with two beautiful young ladies that go to the other way, Jose.
There we go.
Right there. All right. We're involved with two beautiful young ladies that he has the first priority to. So shout out to Chris and those lovely young ladies. And then Sutton has family in town. So again, family first with both of those guys. So we understand completely with what they got going on. So me, Carrie, and Jose, we're gonna hold it down for you. We got some questions to go through, some interesting things to talk about. One thing I'm gonna spring on them before we start is because there's been great conversation in the video I did earlier. And I would really like to get you guys opinions on what I put out earlier. And so I'll just wrap up the gist of the video I did. So I named it I forgot what I named it, but it's about Keaton Mitchell and the carries he get. And so in my opinion, Keaton is not getting a lot of carries because he don't have the ability to make guys miss, like if somebody get in the backfield and make guys miss, because our O-line is so bad. And so I think some people took my video as an indoctrination on Keaton, but it's not. To me, it's an indoctrination on the O-line. And I feel like stuff has to be blocked right for Keaton to have success. Whereas when Derrick Henry, stuff rarely blocked right for him, and he can at least fall forward for 3 or 4 yards and not have us in behind the sticks. Now, people have a bunch of different opinions. The video got like 500 views, but it got damn near 100 comments already. So you can tell that the conversation is going good, and it ain't no disrespectful, malicious. It's just good, opinionated, ball talk stuff. So my opinion is out there. I would like to get you guys' opinion on it before we actually get into the show.
Go ahead, Kerry.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Like when you look at it, and it's something that him and Derrick Henry actually have in common. They're both kind of build-up players. They're not guys that, in a phone booth are going to make people miss when there's penetration and, be able to consistently give you a positive gain after. They're both build-up players. If you can, give them a runway, they're going to make things happen. But they both do need, for their maximum success, they need to have some furniture moving. And right now the furniture is being bolted down. Like there's no furniture being moved. So, that's just the reality of where we are, man. Like, and it's no, like you said, it's no knock on Keaton necessarily. It's just where we are.
Yeah, no, everything Kerry said, man. I think Harbaugh is not going to admit that the O-line is keeping them from doing what they want to do with this run game. That's just the reality of it. If they were able to hold up the blocks, yeah, I think we would see him a lot more because he'd be a lot more explosive. That'd be an excellent 1-2 punch. But because the O-line can't do that, and we have to get creative with the plays and everything, there's a lack of trust there with them. He's the newer running back out of that group. He really trusts Justice Hill at this point. He's proven himself.
I will say this. I went back because somebody said that in the comment section. I don't want to cut you off. I wanted to.
Go ahead.
Because I thought that too. I was like, well, Justice Hill getting carries. Why Keaton can't get them? And I went back and looked at the last 3 games. Justice Hill got 1 carry in each of the last 3 games. And that shocked me when I saw that.
Oh, I don't talk about the carries. I'm talking about the snaps, right?
Oh, okay.
Because he trusts Justice Hill more in the block game, I think, than Keaton Mitchell. I think it's one of those things where Justice Hill isn't playing great this year, but at least he knows Justice Hill he knows the blocking assignments. He's going to put his best effort into that, and he doesn't know Keaton Mitchell is there yet. And it's hard for Harbaugh to trust young players. Mm-hmm. It took Justice Hill's second contract to get to this point where he's being used the way he's used.
True.
So it's just not an easy thing for Harbaugh to turn to a younger player that he hasn't seen that much and just put him out there, unless it's on the O-line, then he's cool with it. But running back, running back, you got to prove yourself a little bit more.
Yeah, that's why it's a great conversation going on, and again, I feel like it's good for the community because it ain't no disrespectful talk, in which I love, had good ball talking, especially in the comments. Like I want to say Moggs dropped. I think it was Moggs dropped a long one of them comments that you would delete, Jose. He dropped a long. I appreciate it because it was on the topic, and he, but basically what he did was, because I felt like I made a statement and I bagged it up with film, but he made a statement, and because he couldn't really bag it up with film, he just kind of typed out his thought process, and I respected that a lot because he said he pulled over and did it. so I respect it, and a lot of times if they that long, I don't read them either. But because of the subject and the way it started, I was like, hold on, this is interesting. So I went through the whole thing, and I, like I said, I told him I appreciate it, and I think it was Moggs, but whoever it was, they said to pull over and type it in. But I appreciate them doing that. So
and thanks for being safe. Okay.
Yes, and not right, not texting them exactly. That's the main part. Get to where you're going. This conversation will be there once you get wherever you're going. So with that being said, we're gonna kind of dive into the show. I appreciate all you guys.
And one more thing, Coach, and to be clear, for the people that's been listening to this show, everybody on here has been pro Keaton. We've been talking about Keaton Mitchell getting more touches literally the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that we want him to get touches. We hope his role continues to grow, but just as onlookers of the game, understanding the disadvantages they have, we understand, okay, this might be why he's not necessarily getting a ramp up in touches.
Yeah. Hey, Kerry, this man, he won't text and drive, but he'll eat Popeye's biscuit, no honey and jelly. He asking for some tragic situations. I saw a video probably about 6 months ago, but some dude took a whole Popeye's biscuit, one bite.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
One bite. I'm like, bro, what is you doing? Is you trying to commit something? you need to be committed. You insane. I at least need a 40-ounce drink or something with the Popeye. As good as they be super dry. Yeah, Sahara Desert dry. This is wild. But we're gonna dive into our questions. We got 8, 9, whatever. But all three of us are going to give our opinion on each question and whatnot. And you guys chime in the chat section, and I'll be tapping, while Kerry and Jose is answering, I'll be tapping chats to kind of throw up on the screen to see everybody's opinion on the different questions we throw up. So again, appreciate you guys for coming through. I am watching the likes. So once we got our first like goal, and I'm gonna hit it once I do this first question, and we'll roll that way. So again, appreciate you guys, and let's dive into it. There we go. All right, first question. Excuse me. What still needs to improve for the Ravens to make a playoff push on this team? And we'll start with you, Kerry.
Well, first and foremost, the people on this show need to continue being Malachi Starks whisperers. So 2 games ago, Jose said, hey, it's time for the first round pick to make a play. It's time for him to show up.
He did.
What did he do? He got on his horse in center field looking like a Gold Glove center fielder and got that pick. Then last game, Sutton tweeted, it's time for the defense to get a turnover, to flip momentum. Literally like 1 minute after he tweeted that, Starks got a pick. So, hey, man, we just got to keep it going.
Hey, you're in the right spot. You're in the right spot. You're in the right spot.
Yeah,
make ball talk great again. That's what we're trying to do over here.
Exactly. But yeah, other than that, man, it's just continuing to go about this process, man. Like, they got to get Lawson on the field, and they got to get something from him as far as pushing the pocket. That's going to be monumental. Draymond had a nice first showing, but in order to continue to play as structured as they have, they're going to have to get some pocket push from somebody else. So getting Carl Lawson up to speed and getting him on the field and we know what we're getting at this point. We're not saying he's going to go on some 8-sack run or something like that, but at least be able to push the pocket some, make quarterbacks a little bit more uncomfortable, and try to carry this thing out that way. That's going to be vital, because if you can do that, you can maybe get another timely turnover here and there and start winning these games in the fashion that they won it this past week.
Okay.
I'm gonna say we got to bring in Emory Jones. We got to bring in Carson Vincent. Get them into the rotation. Who's the other guy that we picked up?
The Green kid.
Kenyon Green. He's still on the team?
Yeah, he's still there. I had forgot about him till somebody mentioned him on y'all morning show. Yes, I think it was yesterday. Hendo mentioned. I had forgot about him completely.
Me too. They need to get some reps. I heard Harbaugh talk about Carson Vincent.
Bullock as well too. Cam just mentioned Bullock as well. Yep.
Yeah, but he said Vincent's been ready like the last 2 weeks. Like he really showed that he's ready to go out there. And my question is, why didn't he get any snaps then? All right. Like he's playing tackle, right? I'm not sure they got him on tackle or guard. That's fine. Ronnie Stanley isn't healthy, right? He's playing through an injury. Give him a breather. Let Vincent rotate in a few snaps, because if Noteboom was healthy, you let Noteboom go out there and play. Now let Carson Vincent go out there and get some reps. I actually liked how he played in the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
So
he got better every preseason game.
Yep. So let him go out there. We got, at this point, I just believe this is just projection. The way the Ravens project our guards to be good, I project Emory Jones just to be better than Falele and Andrew Voorhees. You got to get him on the field, because we have to get better on the O-line. We're not going to get much better, but if we can get marginally better, that will make us that much more dangerous. So getting those guys, and Bullock, right? Getting those guys in there, getting some reps and seeing what they have, because at this point, man, like if you're not afraid to throw out Voorhees with no tape, why can't you throw out these guys with no tape?
Remember, they played Voorhees at left tackle, a position he had never played in high school, college, or the pros. And they started him at a game, started him at left tackle one game.
At no point, going back to last year, at no point did Voorhees he didn't even play. He didn't practice in the offseason. I think he was hurt in the offseason, most of the offseason. He didn't play any preseason games or anything like that, but he was a starting left guard. Why? Like, there's nothing that he had on tape to make you say, that's our starter. It's just a belief they have. Well, if you're going off of that, man, you need to let these other guys get in there and show what they can do.
Yeah, I need to. Hey, Nitro, if that's you, text me. Because if not, I'm about to block that one. If Nitro, if that's you, text me. And if not, that Nitro about to get blocked.
Oh, I did.
And that's like the Wonder Kind show. Ain't it Wonderkind?
Yeah, Wonderkind.
Is it a D in it?
Yeah, it's a D in it.
Okay, I'm Jay. So yeah, if he don't text me, I'm about to block that person. Because he got my number. So if he don't text me here soon, I'm about to block that person.
Yeah,
Nitro got my number.
Impersonator in the room.
Right.
Well, I didn't see what he put.
He said you're a Harbs guy. He said deep down you're a Harbs guy.
You're new here, buddy.
Hey, why you LOLing? If you don't text me in the next 2 or 3 minutes, you about to be blocked. Why you LOLing?
Clearly new here.
Right. So we gotta get to the bottom of this. Oh, it's him. It's him. He texted me. It's him.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You safe now. He was gonna let hard there. I was like, hold on. This. I'm like I be saying this. He had the guy hacked or something. Okay. All right. We continue now. Oh, so let me ask the question: what needs to improve for the Ravens to make a real playoff push? I feel like if we're gonna change the O-line, it has to be done ASAP, because I need them guys to work 5 as 1.
Yes.
And if we're not going to change it, I don't even know what to say after that, because we see the product every week. And as bad as both of those guards are, I think it's affecting the other 2 linemen. I don't think it's affecting Ronnie as much, but I really think it's affecting Linderbaum and Rose. And Rose hasn't had a great year anyway. but that could be based on. I don't. It's hard to evaluate Rosengarten because of what's beside him, and I don't know if he feel. Remember when Rose was trying to make up for what Simpson was doing?
Yeah.
I feel like Rose is kind of in that situation, but he's trying to do his job, but don't kind of help Falele too, because everybody knows the heat that Falele is getting. I've never seen the Ravens don't tell somebody happy birthday because they know what was going to be in the comments.
Yeah.
So they know the heat that Falele gets on a daily. And the thing is, lately, it ain't just us. It ain't just us. I be seeing shorts and reels with the other folks on his head too. So it used to be, just us, and us and Rave and Nitro and on his head. But man, it's damn near the whole fan base now. Like the kid Josh, that I forget what the something less network or whatever, the white kid Josh, you know what I'm talking about? He'd go to all the away games. He had the issue in Miami when the people tell him to sit down because he was talking too loud. That kid.
Oh,
but even him talking about, Falele. And I would almost say he was Purple Patrol at one point, but he ain't no more because he been calling out Harbs and Falele. So
see how that goes,
right? Right. But and if somebody clipped that is no shade toward Josh. Josh is doing an amazing job. The kid, 20 years old, he doing his thing. There ain't no hate toward him. I just used him as an example. So if you gon' go back and say I said something about him, say the whole fucking thing. Don't start no bullshit. And that's who. And if that shoe fits, I'm talking to you. I don't know who that shoe fits, but I'm just saying I'm talking to you.
They telling right now.
Yeah.
Guess what Coach said?
Right. They can kiss my, you know what? After a dunk.
Exactly.
All right, let's go to slide 2. What does this road win say? Because it was a huge road win, and I think Ravenville sent me something from somebody saying there was a lot of our purple in that stadium about the team's resilience, leadership and resilience. What do you think it says?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say it shows on one hand the capability of like executing a game plan and minimizing mistakes. And then it was a good win from the standpoint of I always said going into the season, one of my fears with this team is they face a front that can kind of hijack a game because of our offensive line issues. And this was clearly that kind of front, that kind of game. And, you could tell Monken, Lamar, they made a conscious decision before the game even started. Hey, we're not going to let the O-line derail this game.
Mm-hmm.
And coach talked about, the lack of a quick passing game. Well, the quick passing game was there in this game. They utilized it early and often, and they just, minimized, mistakes as far as that goes. And then another thing I'll say going into this game, these coordinators, I have to give them credit. I'm not going to say they did some kind of amazing job, but think about it. The combination of KOC and Flores is probably the top play calling duo in football. Or if they're not the top, they're right in that top 3-4 conversation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And neither one of these coordinators look rattled or out of sorts going up against these guys. So I think that's something that should be commended. And then other than that, man, I just think that it showed that they can put enough together to win a game when you're not getting like a top tier performance from anybody. Nobody, I don't think anybody went over like 70 or 80 yards rushing or receiving. Lamar was under 200 yards for the game, but they still found a way to pull out a victory. So, those are all things that show resilience. So, I think it was a step in the right direction.
Yeah, no, what Kerry said, I'm just look, composure, right?
Right.
mental toughness. That's what really stood out to me. The last two games, like the way they're carrying themselves, as opposed like when like the first two games when Lamar wasn't there. I mean, first quarter they're hanging their heads, right?
Mhm.
They already looked defeated. Like, man, we ain't winning this. These last two games, they look like they're all about business. And they played a sloppy game this game. I counted 4 drop passes, but
Yeah, it
I
was
didn't
4.
see. Yeah, I didn't see anybody hanging their head. They're just like, all right, whatever. Throw it again.
Mhm.
I'll catch it. Like they understood this is a business trip. We here to handle our business, get this win, and be out of there. And even when it was a close game, even at halftime it was a 10-9. They were
Mhm.
up. It did not feel like we were losing that game.
Agreed.
But the other side, they're the ones with all the false starts and all the penalties. They were getting frustrated, and that's at home. That's crazy.
Mhm.
9 false starts at home is wild,
Yeah.
right? So after like the 5th false start and the fans started booing, I was like, we got him. We got him. Right? Like you know when a team just ain't feeling it, and they weren't feeling it that day. That's what I want to see. And the defense to get the turnovers, I don't think they played the greatest game either, but
Mhm.
it's like me and B always say, timely turnovers, key stops. That's what a defense needs to do. And I don't care if we're playing a stretch of bad teams. Turnovers, when you're trying to turn things around, are key because it builds confidence. We talked
Mhm.
about Malachi Starks getting
Mhm.
these 2 interceptions. That helps him to stop second guessing himself on certain plays. So when you see something there, you're not hesitating. You're reacting to it. You're jumping on that. We need that through this stretch to build their confidence on things like that, because I do believe that for some of these players, even Roquan Smith, right? They didn't. That one was an interception. It should have been an interception.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen that. It feels like years. It feels like it. And he almost had an interception in the end zone. He wasn't
Sure
playing
did.
like that before.
Right.
We need
He hadn't played like that since that Cleveland game.
Yes. So we need more get right. Just the way they're reacting to the ball when they see something, they're trusting what they see and going after that. We need the stretch, and 9 was trash. Yeah. But we need to stretch of games to build that the defense's confidence up. Not saying that they're going to be a top defense, but they can play much better down the stretch
Mhm.
by getting these get right games.
Agreed. And I think this stretch of games is just in time, because I think that first stretch sent a message to show you that, hey, and Kyle said it perfectly. We went in there thinking like these teams gonna lay down because we the Ravens, and on paper we got the best looking roster. And they punched us in the mouth. So now we got to
Yeah.
shake back, and we shaking back versus I don't want to say not top teams, because there's a lot of parity in the league right now, which is great for the NFL. It's great to watch these games and see a Miami beat a Buffalo, or to see who the Colts beat at the last minute. Was that Atlanta?
Atlanta.
To see Atlanta at least in a fight, and just to see the different, and to see like the Chiefs where they at right now. It's amazing football right now. It sucks for us to be in the spot because it's our team. But if you're looking at the whole picture NFL wise, this is like them people in Germany that went to that game for they won NFL game for the year ever, and they got that game from the Colts and Falcons. That's amazing for the product.
Yes,
that's amazing for the product overseas.
Sure.
So,
and what this year tells you is that we're not out of it. Like anybody can be beat. We're not out of it. We just got to take care of business.
Agree. And for me, the resiliency and leadership is just not getting just playing the next play. Just playing the next play. Perfect example. Bateman drops what I feel like he should have caught a touchdown. They come back to him the very next play, and he damn near score. That's all. And as much as Bateman has not done stuff, and as much as we kind of rag on him for sometimes, we gonna need him down the stretch.
Yeah,
because I'm noticing a pattern with D Hop. They're setting on quick stuff with him, and 2 of those balls that Lamar threw to D Hop potentially would have been pick sixes. The first one he threw, he got it over the dude that tried to undercut it. Lamar, I don't know what made Lamar put touch on it, but he did, and D Hop caught it. Then another one, he went to D Hop. It got batted down at the line, but the DB was all over D Hop on it. And so if the ball had got through, it potentially could have been a pick six. So they sitting on D Hop stuff. But I do love the fact, like you mentioned earlier, I think you said it was 2.3 or something this morning, they getting the ball out. 2.3 seconds or something like that. I love the quick game because now they can open up a bunch of other stuff because we used to have just them down the field routes. And I think they finally realizing, hey, we can't protect this long all the time.
No.
So we got to get it out. All right, let's go to question 3. How big were the takeaways in shaping this win over Minnesota? Because we had 3 takeaways, the 2 interceptions, and a fumble on kickoff return. Matter of fact, before we answer, shout out to 38 and 39.
Yeah,
them
man.
2 cats playing lights out on special teams. Both of them. 39 is Jackson, 38 is Martin. Them 2 cats are playing lights out as a gunner, as kickoff coverage, as punt coverage. They playing lights out. And Kolar didn't get tackles on kick off, but the guy that was supposed to be blocking him never blocked him the first time, and he forced the back to cut one way or the other to them other cats.
Yeah. Oh, turnovers were everything in this game, right? Turnovers, I mean, that's the equalizer. You know, when your defense or your offense can't get things going, even if the defense isn't playing great, they're marching down the field and then they think they're going to come away with some points, and then they turn the ball over, or they feel like they have momentum and they turn the ball over. That's deflating, you know, and we need it. They need to keep doing that. They need to keep finding ways to force these turnovers. That's what was missing from this defense. But they're starting to figure some things out. First of all, not giving up big plays. They refuse to let Jefferson get going. They're always playing over top, and that forced the young quarterback to make mistakes because he's relying on this guy to make these plays, and they never let him get it going. And they capitalize on these turnovers. So that's more important than the sacks to me.
Mm-hmm. You held top 2 receiver, maybe not 2, maybe 1, to 4 catches. And he got 3 right off the bat.
Yeah.
He got 3, like the first 3 targets, catches. And then the next 9, he was 1 for 9. Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah. I mean, they were huge, man. Like, let's be honest, like the Vikings defense dictated terms to the Ravens offense. And I don't mean that in a negative way towards the play caller or Lamar or anybody like that. It's just the nature of the beast.
Mm-hmm.
Flores comes after you, and Flores smells blood in the water looking at these guards. So he came out and does what he does. It's super aggressive. So when you're facing that and you know, okay, well, it's not like I can counterbalance that by trying to take some shots downfield, hoping that I can get some explosives off and win that way. But I know I'm opening up my quarterback to taking shots. Mm-hmm. So instead of that, I'm going to stay, confined in this wheelhouse, take the short passing game and move the ball that way. But I know there's a ceiling on that. I know I'm probably not going to be able to score as many points as I would necessarily like. So, like, what do you have to do? That's where it's a whole team game. So everybody has to step up collectively, and winning the turnover battle was the reason they won this game. Like, you combine winning the turnover battle and you combine JJ McCarthy just not being there as a quarterback yet. Those 2 factors were the swing factors. That's why the Ravens won this game. It was up to them just not to screw it up. Now, in previous years, like you said, with more downfield routes, they might have been stubborn and say, hey, we still going to run these deeper routes. We're still going to do some of this stuff. And Lamar would have got beat up. They would have got sacked. Lamar probably would have, been forced to throw a pick. He probably would have fumbled. And then maybe they lose a game like this. It was good that they showed the self-scouting, I would say, the understanding that, hey, this is how we're going to have to win this game. So let's stay intentional. Let's stay within our wheelhouse. And they were able to do that. And then the turnovers just put it over the top.
Yep. I like the fact that they actually had real concepts and real ideas to beat that 0 sticks blitz. They actually had things that, and we didn't execute them right all the time. Some of them balls got batted down, maybe an errant throw or something like that. But you can, if you just actually look at the concepts that we had versus some of those things, they, in my eyes, they were really good. We had one play, and if I'm not mistaken, it might have been a likely drop. They sent Zay in motion, and the ball was snapped, so he got a free release behind likely, and I'm gonna say Mark, maybe I think it was Mark. And even though Lamar didn't throw it to Zay, Zay on the shallow crosser was wide open, and the guy that was responsible for Zay was like 7-8 yards deep. So if he hit Zay on that, Zay probably running still. But so we had real concepts that should actually work, even though we didn't execute all of them. Because you look back at Miami, we didn't have concepts that worked. We was trying to run everybody to the sticks, and Lamar was getting hit.
Yeah,
So that was a crazy thing. So the maturation of Lamar, and I think the last time Roman was the play caller, correct, in Miami.
Yeah.
So and the Todd with a better plan, and then just patience, because like Jose said, down at half 9-10, I didn't feel like we were in trouble. I felt like we was moving the ball, we just weren't finishing the drives, and so then you add turnovers to that, and the score balloons. Because even though they got a late touchdown, they when they got the ball back that last time, they would have had to have some Franco Harris type stuff to win the game. They no timeouts, 90-some yards to go.
And I like that the defense finished, right? Because the offense did whatever they could. They tried their best to try to run out the clock, but that O-line was not letting it happen. Mm-hmm. And we gave the ball back to them, and the defense said, we got you this game.
Right. And a lot of times, like, because he threw the ball on third down and stopped the clock, and people like, why he do that? Well, if he catches it and we get the first down, the game's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes you make calls, and if they don't work, you the GOAT. And if they do, you the hero. And sometimes you're gonna be the GOAT, and not the GOAT in a good way, the bad GOAT, not the LeBron GOAT. I'm saying that to appease these young folks. I say LeBron GOAT to appease these young folks here. Wink, wink, wink.
I'm a LeBron guy, so.
Hey, LeBron's longevity, man, is amazing, man. Like,
I love both of them, but
to me, it's an even line, right? I mean, I was bull crap, but it's an even line because that longevity cannot be overlooked. No, he has been the best player in the league for damn near 20 years. That's tough to do. That's tough tough to be the best at anything. Well, I know he ain't the best player right now, but one of the best. I'm sorry.
Yeah, top
for 20 years of anything.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Should the Ravens fully commit to a run-first identity moving forward? I'm gonna start with this one. No, because we don't have the guards to do it.
Yep.
When you say moving forward, you mean like after this year?
Well, I was thinking more so for the rest of the season, because we did have a little success running for. I think we ran for 140. Even though Derek had 70, Keaton had about 45, 50 or whatever. And Lamar's runs in that. I think we ran for about 140, but I don't think running like I would have loved us to be an outside zone team and play stuff off of it, but for some reason we just ain't we won't do that. So I feel like we can't just rely on a run. We got to be a mixture of things. But I do think we have too many runs, too many run concepts. Like we don't excel at one thing. Gary?
Yeah, I agree. All of that I agree with. I definitely think there's too many runs on the menu. You look at if they were in like a Kubiak type system where everything is predicated on the outside zone, and then you mix in the other stuff off of it, but then you build everything as far as the passing game around that. I think they would flourish in that. But again, like you said, they can't because the offensive line, one, and then two, when you have a Lamar, going to like a run first identity would be like having a Ferrari but only taking it to the grocery store.
Right.
Like what would be the point? And so those two factors, I just think you just can't do that. And there's stuff in this passing game that I feel like is going undersold that I think they still can tap into. Like I know we talked about the issues with the offensive line as far as holding up, down the field. But D-Hop at the catch point is still something you got to try to find a way to tap into, at least a time or two a game. Um, Another thing I noticed too that they got away from, that they went to earlier in the season and would have helped in this game. We talked about this quick passing game and how they tried to smoke screens and different stuff at times and the drags. Well, of the receivers they're actually playing, Zay is like really the only threat for that. And to me, Talon is a threat on drags. Talon can be a threat on smoke screens. Tez Walker, they shelved him for some reason. He's a guy that has juice that they can tap into, that they're not. And so if teams look at this game and look at what Flores did and just look at the sheer numbers of it and say, hey, well, he held Lamar to 170 yards or, whatever the case may be, and they decide to go back to that, I think Tylen and Ted should be guys that they need to find a way to work in this quick passing game and see if you can get some explosives out of those two guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to add. I mean, I think you guys said it. Like, we have to change it up, right? We can't. I mean, our identity is always supposed to be run, but when we get to the playoffs, we always abandon the run. We don't have any true identity. We have identity that we sell to people, but we need to go to a true no identity. Identity needs to be, like what Belichick used to do. What the Patriots' identity? Whatever you're weak at, right? What is your weakness? Let's exploit that weakness, and keep doing that. As long as if it keeps working, you keep working on that. No, it can't be a run heavy thing like you said with these guards. Derrick Henry is older, and we want to make sure he has enough for the playoff push, right? I think when we get to the playoffs, we actually need to be what we keep saying we are, and run the ball then, right? Because later in the season, people are still hurt, right? It's colder outside. That's when you want to be that bruising team to really wear down these teams. But right now, mix it up, keep people confused, and then we get to the playoffs. Lean into that stuff, and hopefully by then we'll have something figured out at guard play.
Right. And my thing is, if we keep them same five, hopefully they grow. And I'm sure that's what they're thinking, but I'm sure that's what they're thinking, that hopefully they'll grow and get better. But time is running. It's November.
They do too much hoping and praying, man.
Yeah, it's November.
Yeah.
Time's running out. And honestly, it's almost to the point where, from a coach's aspect, that got a brain, you don't want to change this late in the season. Almost, you almost at that point. That's why I'm like, you got to figure something out now, because you can't get to game 13, 14 and like, okay, let's try something. And you mess up the chemistry of the whole line, good or bad.
Yeah, the AFC is giving you a lifeline right now. And you got to get out of your own way and be willing to take it. I mean, look, the AFC now, if the Ravens had even suitable guard play, is there anybody in the AFC that we're scared of outside of just, Mahomes and the magic that comes with them in the postseason? And it's not even so much magic. I think it's just they make less mistakes than everybody else.
Yes.
That's what it mainly boils down to. But other than that, like, is there anybody in the AFC that you're just shaking in your boots about? I mean, there isn't.
No.
So, everything is right there for them. You just, you gotta let go of your prior sometime, and you just gotta let them go sometime.
Agreed. That's all facts right there. How can Baltimore improve consistency in the red zone and finish drives? Because yes, we were scoring field goals, but like Jose mentioned earlier, I think he may have mentioned on the morning show that you got to turn those threes into sevens if you want to win in the playoffs. Getting points is good. Going for it on fourth and not getting it is the what we don't want. But you got to be able to finish those drives and score 7. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the answer, everything goes back to the O-line, right? Because that's the problem. we can run well in between the 20s, and then when we had to switch out personnel, and they're switching out the personnel, um, and they know we're running up the middle, we get stopped. Um, so it's going to have to be. I mean, Todd Monken has a tough job. You got to get creative down there, but this kind of goes back to what you guys say. We have to switch it up, not have an identity be so obvious, because we already know if it's first and goal, we're going to give the ball to Derrick Henry up the middle. Everybody knows that, and he gets stuffed up the middle, right? Do some play actions, just spread them out. You don't have to do different things. That might be the time where you have some QB draws or some things like that to keep people guessing down there. But we have to be less obvious with the moves that we make down there, and don't play for three, because that's part of it too. A lot of times when we're down there, we are playing for three. We're just being safe with it. We don't want to turn the ball over there. We won't come out with three. No, play for 7.
Yeah. Jose hit it on the nose there with this old line. Like, I can just imagine Todd Monken, like, when he's in the building and DaCosta walks by his office and say, "Hey, good morning, Todd." I know Todd is like, "What's so good about it?" Because every week they get in this red zone and Todd's got to try to work around these guards, and he's doing everything. Like, I think Todd has largely took more heat than he should. I think he's done a really good, not a great job, but I think he's done a really good job this year. And he's trying, man. Like, he's trying to get on the edges. He's moving the pocket. Like, he's doing all these things in the red zone, trying to make something shake. But, like, when it just boils down to it, in those confined spaces, man, these guards just aren't, like, they're not moving furniture enough to really capitalize. So, like Jose said, he's going to have to mix it up, continue to do all these things he's been doing. I think there is something to some of this stuff. Keep doing that, but just keep plugging away at it. Keep trying to find different answers. Maybe it's phase to D-Hop. Maybe you can mix some of that in some kind of way. Look at what the Rams are doing with these 3 tight end looks that they're passing out of. Look at that, study that, see if you can steal something from that.
It's a rob and borrow league.
Right. Exactly. So, maybe that's something that you can tap into. But outside of that, just keep plugging away at it. And, hopefully towards the end of the year, you found a couple answers, but, you have to stay one step ahead. This gotta be something where the scheme has to do it. The players aren't going to be able to do it in this instance. Scheme has to do it. And Ricard, we saw that fullback dive to Ricard.
Oh, I loved it.
Mix some of that. Maybe mix some of that in.
Yeah, that was nice right there. I was happy to see 42 get some love right there, because even though he didn't got knocked on his butt a couple of times as he came back, but he doing more knocking on the butt than getting knocked on. The butt. But I'm with y'all, man. I think it's one thing to try to hide one guard and call plays around him. It's a whole different animal to try to hide 2 guards. And like Butter say, what Falele out there doing? Is he directing traffic or like what? We don't know. We don't know. So it's as a play caller, it is extremely hard to call plays around 2 guards that aren't pulling their weight.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, pulling 2 other players on the O-line down. So you got to get uber creative. And I'm sure there are times when he walked past the office and Todd is just in there brain fried trying to figure out how can I, call plays and not get people blasted behind these 2 guards. Now I will say they don't mess up on every play. So I can't say they're 0% on their grades or whatnot. But the thing is, I get a question say you need consistency. And they need to be them 2 guards need to be, but however Warhop grades them, they need to be at least 75-80%. At least.
Maybe it has to be one of those things where, like, you have to go back and look at all the tape and just look at what are those guards, what are they comfortable with?
Right.
What are they comfortable with? What can they not do? You remember who was the quarterback? Was it Rick Meyer? Where he went to the Seahawks. He was one of the bigger busts, and
From
Tom
Notre
Flores was
Dame.
the coach. Yeah, Tom Flores was the coach. Like, and they found out like he couldn't throw left or something like that. It's like some Zoolander stuff. Like if he threw left, it's going to be an interception. So Tom Flores like, well, then don't call plays to the left. Make sure he throws right. And, and they made it through the season with him. They had a pretty decent season, and they traded him. It might be one of those things with them. Like there might be certain things that they just cannot do, and we just can't run those plays with them.
Right. Jargo said put 77 as fullback and let him run it. If you don't know, he did it at Minnesota. He did run the ball at Minnesota. If you don't know, they did hand him the ball a couple times at Minnesota. So, not saying that's something we should do, but I'm just saying it was done before. It has been done before. But as far as them two, man, it's like I just shout out to Todd, man. It's tough. It's tough, and he almost between a rock and a hard place. Because if you do good, that's what he's supposed to do. He got Lamar. That's what they're gonna say. And if you do bad, but how you ain't winning with Lamar? The proof is in the pudding. But I agree with you, Jose. Go back because he always talk about self scouting. Go find the plays that they graded good on. Run more of them.
Mm-hmm.
Run more of them. All right, let's keep pushing. Is the defense's bend but don't break style sustainable against top offenses? I think this is gonna be a good one. Jose, we'll start with you.
It is if they can get turnovers.
Okay.
Right. They are not they're not a bend but don't break defense. The defense we had 2 years ago when we went to the AFC Championship, that was a bend but don't break defense because they can stop you in the red zone, right, and force a field goal or whatever. We're just letting them go down the field and score. Now, if we can bend and break up their offense, then yes, it's sustainable. But that's why this stretch right here is crucial for them. Like this is a team that's going to have to find ways to turn the ball over. The top offenses are going to score on us. That's just what it's going to be, right? But all it takes, because those games where those offenses go crazy on us, like we play the Bengals here coming up. I'm gonna talk about that in the morning. Joe Burrow wants to come back for Thanksgiving to play us. Yeah, they're going to put up points, but they're also going to give up a lot of points. Mm-hmm. So all it's going to take for us to win that game, 1 or 2 turnovers.
Yep.
Right? And we can win it. And it's going to be like that for, if you think all the top offenses in the league, they don't have great defenses. Mm-hmm. So our defense just has to make key stops, key turnovers, and we can win those games. But if we're not doing that, this ain't going to work.
I think the 2 best teams, or 2 of the better teams that have good offenses and really good defenses played last night. And you saw the defense for the most part was wearing, like both defenses was wearing the other offenses out.
Yeah.
So I think, I think maybe the Rams are in that boat. But you just notice all 3 of them teams where? NFC.
NFC, yeah.
So, put Seattle in that too.
Seattle as well. Seattle as well. And honestly, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, they're going to be number 1 on the power rankings this week. They're going to I know the other teams got, like, Indianapolis got, not New England, New England got a longer winning streak. But what I saw with my eyes with Seattle, to me, they're the best team in football right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Them boys, they are killing it offensively and defensively. Mike got them rolling.
Yeah.
Got them, and he should be in purple and black, but that's a different conversation for a different day. I get both of y'all on this one. Here, get you on this one.
Oh, yeah, let me jump in on this one. So, is it sustainable? Probably not, because they just don't have enough disruptors to make it sustainable. But this is where they are, and they have to stay within his wheelhouse, because we saw what it was before they started playing like this. Before, they added Gilman and, put Kyle, up near the line of scrimmage. We saw what it was. It was a break defense. So, they don't have the luxury to do anything different. But the hope is, again, coming back to what Draymond provided, what Carl Lawson can potentially provide, and what Jose just said, you got to mix in some turnovers. You got to get timely turnovers, which part of that is going to be your pass rush, but then also part of that is Zach Orr is going to have to continue to grow, and he's got to find the timely blitzes, the timely calls that kind of accelerate the process and force some of these turnovers. Some of these turnovers have to be forced by scheme. It can't be, a sack fumble all the time, or, a guy just breaks on the ball. Yeah, we want some of those. We have the players that you feel like you should get some of those, but some of those have to be, oh man, that was a great blitz on third down. That was a great call, on a second down. Some of it has to be that. And so if Zach Orr can continue to grow and grow into that, I think it'll work, but it's on him.
I agree. And my 2 cents on this is, so beginning of the season, we were just giving up to anybody. Anybody can get a turn. Now I feel like we've narrowed our who we give it up to down, because we getting turnovers now. Now, if we want to get holy, we got to be able to get turnovers and get stops mixed in together. So you can't just let them drive and then hope for turnovers. You got to be able to stop folks when especially if they mess up. If they get behind the sticks, you got to stop them. You got to, especially on like a false start, maybe not, because that's 1st and 15. But a holding where they at 1st and 20 or something beyond that, they can't get a first down on that. They can't get a first, and you can't let people sustain long drives on you. Like who did the 90 something yard drives on us? Who was that?
Was that
that
Detroit?
was Lions? Yeah,
the Lions. Like that can't happen either.
No,
but that way your defense out, and to help your defense out, the offense needs to stay on the field a little longer as well. We can't. The defense can't give up a 98-yard drive and then offense go 3 and out. Because then now you coming with the backup defensive lineman, which is why is 58 still out there? That's you coming with guys like that, and people just run down our throat.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like if you're gonna be bend on break, you have to have turnovers, and you have to have and I will agree with what you said earlier, Jose. UMB and Hendo have been saying it. The turnovers matter, but when you get them matters more. And I wasn't a big advocate of it at first. I just felt like if you get turnovers anytime, you should be able to, if you get them early, you should be blowing the people out. If you got them late, you should seal the game. That's what I thought. But those late turnovers are way more crucial than interception in the first quarter, because the other team got the whole rest of the game to come back. Yeah. And so y'all open my eyes on that aspect.
Yeah, because the early turnovers are really kind of like chaos agents. They could just set the game off. Early turnover could just flip how we view the game. It could turn it into a shootout one way or the other. The timely turnovers, that's like closing the door.
Yeah.
On a game.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other team knows they only have so many more chances at scoring.
Yeah. And I think we've been on the opposite end of that a bunch of times, where we'll turn it over late, and we know we got the better offense versus their defense, but we just ain't got the time to do stuff, and then we go into press mode, and when you have to throw it and they know you throwing it, it's a lot different than you got your play action, you got your play action pass and stuff like that. And especially if you got some pass rushers. If you get pass rushers, you almost turn the lights off on folks. Almost turn the lights off on them.
Yep.
All right, let's see. We did that one already. All right, have the Ravens truly turned a corner with this third straight win? Do you think we're on the way to back to what we wanted them to be at the beginning of the season? Here,
I'm not ready to say yet. You look at this 3-game winning streak. The Bears haven't beaten anybody good, even though they're 6-3, I believe. Dolphins have been mostly a disaster. The Vikings are being held down by quarterback play. So I'm not gonna jump to any sweeping conclusions about this team based off of these 3 games. But what I will say is they're playing more sound football on both sides of the ball. there seems to be like a heightened sense of what's required from a tactical standpoint on both sides of the ball that's gotten better. You know, the coordinators have really honed in on what's needed with the deficiencies to win games. So I love to see that. But I'm just not ready to say they've turned a corner. Now, how I'll describe it as this: they were on the road, they ran into a ditch. They've gotten themselves out of the ditch. They're back on the road. They're going straight, but they haven't turned yet. So it's a possibility they can turn, but they haven't turned yet.
That's a great analogy, Kerry. That's big. That's big brain thinking right there. Jose.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give you a slightly different analogy. We haven't turned the corner, but what we're seeing is other teams turning onto our road. Right. Like the Bills don't look great. I mean, like they got the doors blown off of them by the Dolphins. And I looked at some of those content creators, the reaction to that game, and there's issues over there. You know, they are not happy with their play at all. You know, you look at in our division, you look at the Steelers. The Steelers, I thought it was going to have to come down to us playing them for us to leap over them, but they're doing the work for us already. We're only one game behind them.
They're doing the work even in the wins. They beat the Colts by 7 points and had won the turnover battle by like 5.
Right.
And then they won another game by 7 when they won the turnover battle by like 6. So like they just ain't good, man.
so you know, it goes back to what we were saying before. The AFC doesn't look scary at all, right? So it gives us some confidence that we can get back into it, and we just got to handle business. But no, have we turned the corner yet? No, not yet. Not yet. They got to keep building off of these wins. It's a game to game thing, and they have to really lock in and play. Try to play as much mistake-free football as it can. That's what won us this last game. We made a lot less mistakes than the other team, and we came out with the win. And they have to keep doing that to turn the corner.
Kerry, did I start with you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you start with me. Yeah.
Oh well, me. I'm a little more optimistic because us being one game down, that really gives us, because we really at 1-5 we had no margin for error. And now we have a little margin for error, and we still have to play them twice. So I think it's a 3-team race. I think it's us, depending on, you know, and I still think the Bengals, because I think the Bengals can outscore some folks. I don't think they can outscore everybody. But I still think they can outscore some folks. So I think our margin for error is a little bigger now because we're only one game back and we're in week 11. So that gives us, 7 more weeks of football. But turn the corner. No, we might be peeking. We might be peeking to see what's over there, but we ain't turned it just yet. A win Sunday, and for y'all, you know, they're thinking this is an easy win. I don't think that, because I think we're gonna win, but I don't think it's gonna be easy because Myles Garrett.
Yeah,
him by himself can keep you in the game, and a guy that I thought was garbage is playing some really good football for them, Mason Graham. I thought Mason Graham was garbage coming out of college. Like I couldn't see why the people had him so high. He playing some ball now. And so that D-line plus them playing man coverage, and we ain't looked the great versus man, that scares me. I don't think they have enough. I think them crapping on Shador is good. They just keep playing Gabriel. Keep playing. We'll take it. We'll take it. Because I saw some throws from that game from him. Hell, I could have made some better throws than that.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact, and I don't know this man personally, that Jerry Jeudy is on the verge of crashing out. Like I said, I don't know Jeudy personally, but because he's an explosive receiver, and they can't get him the ball. I know he on the verge to lose his mind. And then you saw how mad Myles was when they got them 6 turnovers and still got blew out. Or 5, no, he got the 5 sacks and still got blew out. They're on the verge over there. They're on the verge of why ain't a mutiny over there? Versus they coach.
Mm.
That's the question. That's the question I'm gonna ask somebody tomorrow. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Well,
Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow.
expectations. They don't have the quarterback to expect to be anything more than what they are.
Yeah.
I think if they had a quarterback in there losing these games, you would see more of it. But no quarterback. They're just like, man, whatever.
Yeah.
We're
And
collecting the check.
I was sure that after watching Gabriel last week that they were gonna go to Shador this week. I was 100% sure, but as soon as the game came out, the fans were like, nope, sticking with Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, we got super chat here. A big super chat too.
Oh,
20 from Wondering Raven TV. Guards being, you know what, and trash aside on the last few wins, especially the one with Snoop. I hope it's giving the team confidence they can win ugly and without Lamar having to be special. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Snoop, and I don't mean to have you covered up, Jose, but
no, you're good.
That's a 20.
Yeah. Yeah, keep up that.
Right. I forgot about the game with Snoop. That started this thing. We played efficient football with Snoop at the quarterback, and he played a more mature game as well. And in games like Sunday, yes, all the games ain't gonna be pretty. You're gonna have to fight, scratch, and claw. And honestly, that's how you win in the playoffs too. You just do whatever you can, because when we watch the playoffs, there ain't a lot of blowouts. You got fight, grab, claw, and like you said earlier, Kerry, whoever makes the least mistakes normally win the playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Whoever makes the least mistakes normally win the playoff game. Thank you, Wondering Raven TV, for the super. I appreciate it. That's big right there, and just can't thank you enough for it. I appreciate all y'all that drop supers over here. Let's see. That might be the last one. All right, I had one last thing, but I think I forgot. So we've been talking about a lot. We had some good conversation. What was that last thing? Well, I just ended with, this is a deal. Because we normally don't do this. Predictions going like for next week. What you think is gonna happen next week? And not just necessarily win or lose, but how, what the intricacies of the game, what you think is gonna pan out. I'll start with you, Kerry.
I think honestly it's gonna be a lot like this game this week. You're gonna run into some adversity offensively just because of what Myles Garrett and that man coverage and that aggressiveness, what they bring to the table. But defensively, they figured some stuff out. Cleveland, I think I saw somewhere where Dylan Gabriel throws it to wide receivers like 20% less than anybody else in the league. Like he only wants to throw to the tight end. So I'm not horribly worried about him and what they can bring to the table. And I think with their run game, the way Travis is playing, and then who's the vet that they playing him too many snaps out of necessity, but he bringing it in the run game. The name is escaping me. Who's the other Jenkins?
Jenkins, yeah.
Jenkins,
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Between Jenkins and Travis Jones, I think they can control the front enough to kind of keep Judkins at least at bay. They better be careful though, because Judkins is a problem. So
yes.
So if they can keep him bottled up and again minimize mistakes and get a timely turnover, I think we're looking at the same kind of game we were looking at this past week. Maybe it's not a high scoring 40-point game, but it's a game where you feel pretty comfortable with them being able to win the game pretty much throughout the game.
Mm-hmm. So
I feel like it's going to be similar to the first game. Right? I think we end up, but the final score is going to be a double-digit lead. Right? Okay. I think the first half, because they have talent and they're able to slow us down. And I'm fine with that for this game. Our offense not going out there explosive, but kind of finding their way throughout the game. But I expect this defense to keep it going. I think they're going to force some turnovers, and that's what's going to wear this team down in the second half. And we put up points. We put up points, maybe even a defensive score in there. But I expect at least 14-point victory.
Cool. So now I do remember my original question. Then I promise we're gonna get up out of here. The new addition, Draymond Jones. What did y'all see out of him that you like or didn't like? Depends on how you view what he did. And I'll start with you, Jose, on this one.
I mean, he just ready to go, right? I mean, he got a lot of pressures in that game. He almost had a sack, I think, on 2 plays.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going, and I expect that he's going to get a few sacks for us here. I think right now he fits more of what we need than Owe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always doing good with the Chargers, right? But Draymond Jones is one of those veterans that he already knows how to play. He doesn't need a coach and staff to tell him where to be. The problem with Zach or what's going a big problem, in my opinion, the problem what's going on with him is his supporting cast doesn't have a lot of experience. Whereas when Mike McDonald was here, he had coaches that been doing it for a long time. 2 of those position coaches are defensive coordinators now, right? So he might have the scheme, but those positional coaches, and they matter too. Are you preparing those guys, these young guys? Are you telling them, hey, this is what you're doing wrong? This is where you need to be, in this formation and things like that. I mean, when you have Dean Pease' son, this is his first year. What's he telling Roquan and them?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, out of position, so that's kind of the struggle right there. But yeah, like I said, I think I think Orr is starting to turn the corner himself on those things. I think he understands, what
he got and where to use them.
Yeah, yeah. But Draymond Jones, I like him. No, I was gonna say I like Draymond Jones. I think he's going to help us out more with just not needing to be coached in that way.
Right. Care?
Yeah, for me, it was refreshing. It made me go back and think about what we saw when Za'Darius was in purple and black, what we saw when Pernell McPhee was in purple and black. Physical, heavy-handed edge rusher with a pass rush plan. And not to bag on Owe, I'm glad he's finding some success in Los Angeles, and more power to him. But you could see the lack of plan. You can see the unsureness, watching him, and you don't see that with Draymond. He has a plan, and he has just enough burst that he can win with speed. He can bend and get around you, but he's gonna make his bones as far as his effectiveness is his power and that kind of thing. So just having that back in the room is good to see, man. And I want to see how they further incorporate him, and if it's possible for them to tap into kicking him inside more, maybe once Lawson gets back, and just add some other kind of dynamic, to the room, because they're going to need him. They're going to need him to get where they want to go. They're going to need him. And specifically, anything they can get inside from him is going to be a bonus. But you got to have 2 people on the outside that are worthy of the snaps to be able to kick him inside.
Right. Now, he did a couple of snaps inside, and that's where I'm going to go with my point. He's a lot more twitchier than I thought. I knew he was like a power rusher guy, but watching him, like, for real, I watched all the snaps today and I locked in on just him. He's a lot more twitchier than I expected. And so when they did drop him in coverage off the line, he didn't look uncomfortable. He didn't look robotic in his movements. You see him scanning to try to see, what would be coming in his area. Now, I didn't like the fact the dude they dropped beside him in coverage, the other Jones, but it is what it is at this point. But he's a lot more twitchier than I expected. Like Jose said, he ain't got to be coached up on the finer points of pass rush, because he know him already. Just, where do I line up, coach, and what gap do I got? That's all he needs to know.
Yep.
And you can kind of see Mike kind of telling him some stuff too. Mike Green. And I understand he been there a week. He probably don't know all the calls and whatnot. But hey, it's just a simple, hey, you got to be gap. Hey, you stun off me. It's real quick.
I like that hit Mike Green put on Aaron Jones in that game too.
Mm-hmm. Sure
He
did.
playing
Trusting themselves.
playing
Mm-hmm.
with
He playing a lot quicker.
He saw it and go get it.
Yeah, he's playing a lot quick. If you look at his movements in game 1 or 2 or early in the season, and look at the way he moving now, like it was some times where he pass rushed past the quarterback, and the quarterback maybe stepped up or tried to run. There were no false steps. He took one step and changed directions and went the other way.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough for a dude that size to do. That's that bend, that's that speed, that's that athleticism that he has. And so I'm back to Draymond Green. I mean Draymond Jones. Yeah, he was a lot twitchier, and I think he's gonna really help. And again, he got 4.5 sacks in the last 5 weeks now, but I think the sacks are going to come from either him or Mike. And I think Mike, Travis, and Draymond are going to do some really good things on our defensive front or whatever it is, and actually help get turnovers. Because I think they're a part of the turnovers. Like one of the interceptions, McCarthy had to run from both Joneses, and then he stepped up and tried to throw it deep, and it was a pick. Because both of them was on his head. So I think he's gonna help out. This last one we got from Kwame a minute ago. They got to make a documentary about the Browns' leadership. Watson terrorizing massage therapists, and they signed him for $250. And there's other stuff that's going on with the quarterback. So you're right.
Hey, don't forget the owner was indicted in some charges too. Like his company had to pay like $1 billion in fines.
Really?
And it's like 2 or 3 people in his company went to prison. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Pilot Flying J. Flying Pilot J, something like that.
That's 2 different ones. They truck stops. Pilot is a truck stop, and then Flying J is one too. I don't know if they like.
I think they merged. Yeah, okay. I think they merged. Yeah, he owns them, but they were caught in some big scandal. It was a big thing.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I thought he was going to lose a team over it, but he didn't go to prison over it.
Hey, Gene. But hey, that's our show for today. We over 7 o'clock, and we don't even go this long with everybody here. great conversation today, guys. I appreciate y'all for taking the time out to come through. And again, Chris is with family, Sutton is with family. Family is first, but we came through with the big 3, not just big me. And so we'll see y'all on the next one, man. Peace and love. Carrie with Deep Cover Podcast. Jose with Lunch Break Hot Take, and this new morning show that kind of fits. Yeah. I'm on my way to work when it happens.
I've been calling it the morning roundup the last two mornings. We're experimenting with it. This is something me and Hen have been talking about for a while, but now I just kind of went out there and said, all right, I got 15 minutes in the morning before I go to work to put something together. So we're testing it out. If it's received well, then we'll keep it going.
Like I don't know if you saw my text in the chat this morning. Like I wish I could join, but at 6:30, that's my alarm to walk out the door. So I'm watching most of y'all. Like today, I didn't because I was off. But normally, I'm watching y'all as I'm driving to work or listening.
Yeah, we can talk, Coach, because 6:45 is actually my alarm. Like you actually hear it during the show. 6:45 is my alarm.
Yeah. So hey, make sure y'all tune into that if you up, and if not, just watch it when you get up. A lot of good information been going on. Today was a really good show. So, check that out. And then we'll get a Deep Cover podcast whenever we get one. I've learned that's the answer. Matter of fact, you got a Deep Cover podcast today, and you get one tomorrow as well. You just, in your mind, visualize Carrie today, Mike tomorrow. There you go.
That's it.
So that's your Deep Cover podcast. Hey, I appreciate y'all, and we out of here, and I'll see y'all later. Oh, peace. Just so you know, tomorrow we will have a special guest on the show. A Browns content creator will come through, and we're going to chop it up with them. So make sure you've been on the lookout for that. I haven't done the thumbnail or anything yet, but just know it's coming tomorrow. And we'll talk a little Browns and Ravens football tomorrow. So now, down we out. Peace, y'all.
Peace.